Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pot. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Substitute teacher removed from elementary school after urging black women to raise boys like men. I have the boys in my class, the substitute teacher stated. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
Some of the tweet that landed her in that hot water here. It was posted to Twitter last Thursday under the account @mostly_hated. It says, "Black women raising boys, please stop letting your sons pick up your female traits. I have boys in my class. I know you'll have some men around somewhere. This is getting ridiculous." Now, this comment got some quick reactions when I showed it to some parents in person today.
It's not with that type of behavior.
Honestly, with a lot of the way teachers are, a lot of them do teach like they just don't say it.
She could have said, like, put them in meal mentoring programs, things like that. But for her to just come off and say something like that, it's just atrocious.
Now, online, a number of comments were defending Robinson, some essentially arguing she's a victim of cancel culture. Those upset with the substitute also flagged other questionable posts. Now, we can't see those posts for ourselves. Her account was listed as private this morning, but different messages screen grabbed by others appear to say kids need to get bullied. It goes on to say the no bullying thing is dumb. Another says these fifth graders never had a teacher from the hood I see. I will gather a child quickly and respectfully and still bring them to tears. A third appears to read, "So when I look at my student who thinks it's cute being bad, I just wonder how long it's going to take for them to land in jail." Several other questionable posts were found on Facebook. Prince George's County Education Committee Chair Jolene Ivey used the words homophobic.
All right, guys, so let's talk about this for a second here, because I thought this was pretty good coffee, right? It's an interesting topic. We see it all over. If you don't, then you're not online. You're not on TikTok. You're not seeing these kids acting up in these classrooms. Let's be honest. If there was any occupation today that would take the most patience, I'm sure school teacher would be top 3 or 4. Being a teacher today in the current educational system, I've heard and I've actually seen with my own eyes, is a living hell. Not only are you in a time where you're dealing with all these different changes in identity, which, hey, that's a whole different conversation I don't want to get into right now. But just think about this. You have kids in the classroom today who are different pronouns depending on how they perceive themselves that morning. And you have to make sure you can keep up with that, adjust with that. Cool, right? These teachers didn't know they were going to have to deal with this going into it. I'm not giving them a pass here. There are teachers and they did sign up for this, but there's that element. On top of that, you can't really discipline children the way you used to. And on top of that, you have young men who the majority here, this story comes from Maryland, are grown up in single mother households. This is why she's talking about black women need to stop raising their boys up like they are women, to pick up their feminine traits. And you may be asking, well, what traits are those? Well, a man who can't control his emotions, a man who's highly argumentative, a man who is not in touch with his masculinity, right? He sees his mom handle situations by tapping into her emotional energy, and he thinks as a man, that's what you do. And a man tapped into his emotional energy is a dangerous thing, right? I feel bad for teachers who are teaching in today's education system. I just feel bad for them because I know those kids are turning up. They turn up on the students. There's fights all the time. And they turn up on us teachers. You've seen the videos yourself. It's a terrible time, or I'll say this, because it's never a terrible time to be a teacher. But I'll say it's probably one of the most challenging times to be a teacher. I don't get how they do it. I look back at my teachers and think of the hell I gave them. That's nothing compared to what these kids are doing today, right? They are ready to fight with these teachers. And dare you put your hands on one of these teachers, it's over. There's no male figure there that's going to say, hey, you know what? Our son shouldn't have gotten all up in your face. No, all you have is an overprotective mother. You don't have a disciplinarian at the household. So when I hear a substitute teacher went to one of these schools and said this, I am not surprised, is all I'm saying. I'm thinking like, wait, it's about time. I'm surprised teachers aren't dropping out left and right, to be honest with you. Teachers are needed. They're underappreciated. They have the most impact on us. If you look back, you could probably remember and name off teachers who played a significant role in your life, but they're underpaid, underappreciated, and now are probably dealing with some of the most unruly young people, some of the most unruly generation that they've had to deal with in a long time. This topic, of course, had a lot of people talking. We're going to see what the people had to say. These comments are brought to you from the Coffee Pot Official. Make sure you add us on Instagram. First comment reads, the best way to do this is to stop having children without having a commitment from a man. So basically, no having children outside of wedlock is what this man is saying, and I agree. Of course, it's a great way to fix this problem. Next comment says, heavy. There's going to be some coffee served at parent/teacher's night. That's facts.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Somebody has to take accountability for their kids. Women heard that and they understood their kids are out of control, because I bet you those 8 hours that their son is not home is probably a blessing to them, because they can't control their own kid. But when you hit them with the fact that they might have played a role in that by denying that child through their decisions, or maybe the lack of direction in their life, listening to counsel, denying that child masculine guidance, energy, a father figure, they just get triggered, right? They don't want to drink that coffee.
This coffee smells like shit.
They want to spit it out. Next comment here reads, she's telling the truth. Black women raise weak boys. Now, I want to say this. Black women raise weak boys. I don't agree with that. Black single mothers raise weak boys in general. Yes. Black women with a man, and I'm sure this is what this commenter meant. Black women who have a consistent father figure, preferably a marriage, preferably the biological man in the house. They don't raise weak boys. They don't. And I have to kind of, clarify a couple of these comments, because there's always some person who's going to look at things from the most extreme end. No, black women do great. There are black women who are out there married who do. Is there a black woman out there who's single, who raised up kids that are all right? Yeah, it does happen. But the far majority end up realizing that they missed out on opportunities that could have made them a better man, a man who'd have been ready to take on the world, who had the type of skills that are needed to lead, to compete, right? And also to survive. Next comment here comes from a woman, and it says, well, it's true. Women cannot raise boys to be men, but damn, laugh out loud. Yeah, it's true. And she's probably saying, but damn, because, the substitute teacher was harsh. I guess she didn't have to use that lingo. But then again, she was probably in that feminine energy, right? Next comment reads, free her. And finally, the last comment here says, laughing emojis, where's the lie though? With the question mark. What do you guys think? I definitely think I feel bad for anybody who has the passion of teaching today and they have to contend with today's generation of young students. They're just kind of out of control. But as always, I'm curious to know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.